This course is presented to you free of charge by TTJ Tech Services of www.ttjtech.biz and by Stir It Up of www.stiritup.com. And remember, stir is spelled with a U, not an I, so that's STURITUP.com. TTJ Tech Services and Stir It Up are pleased to offer this course to you, to the glory of God and to the benefit of all those who listen. Yes. Praise God. Praise the Lord. Thank you, Jesus. Well, welcome back. Welcome to another iPad for All Computing session. And we're continuing our discussion about pages today. If you have not listened to or were not able to attend yesterday's session, we did a lot of the basics and we covered how to create documents in pages and open existing documents, and then how to do some of the basic formatting types of things, and using the Magic Keyboard Folio, or any smart keyboard or Bluetooth keyboard that you might have. And while we're going to continue down this same track, and we basically are going to, if you didn't hear yesterday's, please listen to it when you have opportunity. Let's see here. Going to get the screen share going, and we'll get the original audio going.
White up or down $5 request. Hey button. Hey but Jessica correct. Tip message dictate 1 2 1 clock. Enter iPhone passcode. Clock at 1 2 3 2 4 6 8. Wrong passcode 7 6 3 2 4 6 8 6 5 7 7. Messages 1 unread. Back button.
All right, just a moment here.
Dictate sheet graph big mess apps Jessica 5 apps Jessica apps message iMessage message app Jessica Volrect 2:06 p.m. Hey articles bookmark.
All right, just a second here, folks. You got a message I just need to take care of real quickly here. Original audio. Now you should be able to
Original sound.
hear voiceover.
Button, more,
and
but optimized for video.
We'll get back into pages.
Page numbers. Pages. Around
Now,
surface pages. You are sharing screen.
I'd like to resume working with the same document that we worked with yesterday for starters. We will actually create another document here separately in short order. But let's go back to the document we already created yesterday.
Pages. iPhone PT attendance sheet. Fourth man. Tax info. iPhone PT5.
I'm swiping left because I was a little further down.
Class test iPad 2025. Pages file. Yesterday. 3:07 p.m. 135 kilobytes.
And you might remember that's what we were working with. So I will simply double tap on that to open it up again.
Class test back button. Canvas. Body. Class test for iPad. Hello everyone.
And it's reading that,
This is a test
but I'll stop that with a 2-finger tap. Now, there are going to be times when you may open a document that perhaps you have not worked with in a long time, and it may say that the document was opened in reader mode. And I described that to you yesterday. If that should be the case, you can very simply perform your magic tap. I can't do that while we're on a Zoom call, but normally perform your magic tap and it will exit the reader mode, or there is a button. If you swipe to the left of the canvas,
text field is body class reading view button.
Right now it says reading view. That would turn on the reading view.
1 reading view edit button.
But notice now,
use this button to exit reader mode.
See, now it becomes edit. So if we want to resume editing, if we're in reader mode,
more share more edit button.
We just double tap that.
Exited reader mode.
Okay.
More button.
Now,
reading view button. Canvas body class test 1 space text field.
You'll notice that.
One space text field.
And I don't know why there's a 1.
711 points close to selections bottom right corner. Double tap to select.
You'll notice
6.5.
It already seems like we have 2 separate edit fields. That's because there must be 2 pages. But let me go in here and see.
Body class test insertion point at end. Return footnote 1 attachment. New line question mark.
Okay.
Word you question mark. Return. New line footnote 1 attachment.
I might have accidentally put that in. I'm going to delete that.
Delete new line question mark.
All right, now how are you is the last
Return.
thing in there. We'll put a new line. And let's hit
reading view vertical outdent dimmed.
Let's just hide the keyboard.
Hide keyboard.
Bottom right of the screen.
Double tap and hold, then drag up to alter key.
So now we have the keyboard hidden, and let's
numbers. Body, read it, canvas, body.
Yeah, now there's only 1. When you get more than 1 page, when your document is long enough to require more than 1 page, you will have what appears to be multiple edit fields, kind of like 1 for each page. But this document, I knew, wasn't long enough to have that, unless we had screen view on, because then, like I told you, it's only like a sentence or 2 in each what seems to be separate edit field, but that's, to make it look better on the screen. So that's personal preference. Again, if you need to go back over that, check out yesterday's episode. We'll get that up there very soon. But also, when you're using a keyboard, you don't really even need to be concerned about that when you're using a mechanical keyboard, because you can just continue to press the up and down arrow to go through your document, and the various options that you have for example, command up arrow to go to the beginning, command down arrow to go to the end. So that's always available. All right, let's look at some other options that we haven't talked about yet. And I'd like to begin by talking about what if we want to insert some kind of media or shape into this. And I showed you yesterday the insert media menu, right? You might remember that we could record audio, we could add a table, a photo or a video, even a web video. We can put paste a URL of, let's say, a YouTube video or something in here. We could draw, we could use, we could add equations. There were lots of things we could do, but there's a separate menu for inserting shapes, which really, in and of themselves, are a kind of media, I suppose. Let's find that. Let's swipe to the left here.
Reading view, more, format, undo, share, but insert media, insert shape.
Okay,
button.
And you might remember the shape gallery from Freeform. It's going to be very similar here. So let's say that we want to insert something.
Search, button.
And again, you can always search for your shapes.
Basic, button. Geometry, objects, selected, animals, button.
Let's insert an animal.
Nature, food, symbols, education, arts, science, people, places.
Look at all these categories.
Activities, transportation, work, ornaments, horse, cow, pig, sheep. Page 2 of 8.
I did a 3-finger swipe up.
Bird, blue jay, raven, owl, eagle and pelican, eagle in flight.
Let's insert a blue jay.
Tap, raven, blue jay.
Okay.
Double tap to insert. Select canvas, upper left shape handle, W, 2.41 in H, 1.58 inches, adjustable. Double tap and hold, then drag to resize. Swipe up or down with one finger to adjust the value. Use the rotor to access document headings, links, misspelled words, comments, highlights, nearby elements, bookmarks.
And this is why we want to have our hints on. There's a lot of information there, and as with the demonstration in Freeform, I'm going to say it again. I'm not going to try to mess with resizing this or moving it. I really do recommend having a pair of eyes to help you with that. Not that it's not doable with VoiceOver, but it's just hard to tell where exactly you're going to end up with it. So I'm going to leave it alone right now, but I'm going to show you if we swipe to the right.
Upper middle shape, upper right shape, middle left shape, selected, blue jay, text field. Double tap to edit.
There's the actual
0 points close to selection's top edge.
See?
Vertically centered. Size. 2.4 inches wide. 1.6 inches tall. Position. Horizontally centered. 25.5% from top. Double tap to edit.
Now, there's the blue jay. He's already selected, he or she. I don't know. And because that Blue Jay is selected, we can format the bird. If I use the actions rotor,
Add comment, add title, add caption, format.
And also the format menu at the top like we had before, but it's going to have different options now because you're not formatting text, you're formatting an image. Let's show you this.
Style button.
Now,
move to back. Move out. Style button. Text button. Selected. Arrange button. Move to backslash front. Move element backward.
arrange
Dimmed
is what's
button.
selected.
Move element. Move element size and.
But let's see.
Move. Select text. Style button.
Well, it's not really
One of
text.
text.
I don't know why it's saying
selected.
text.
A rip paragraph. Label button.
Okay, there's label. And
Font. Helvetica bold button.
see, we didn't have label before.
Italic. Underline.
This is definitely dismiss that
Back
one.
button.
Now, notice
Body, upper left, up, mip, selected, Blue Jay.
it's still selected, and so you want to deselect that when you're not working with it. So we'll swipe down here.
Add comment, add title, add cap format, deselect all.
We're going to say deselect all. That way, we can continue typing if we want to. That Blue Jay is now deselected.
Body, class test for iPad, Blue Jay.
See, there's the Blue Jay.
Blue Jay.
And notice you don't have your resize handles now because we've deselected the bird. So you have the body.
Body, class test for iPad, Blue Jay.
And you have the bird.
298 points close to selections bottom.
And I don't know if I select him again if it's still going to say text. That was unusual.
Selected, Blue Jay, text field.
Yeah, it does still. Interesting.
Drag item, deselect all.
Well, we might insert something else too. That's definitely not, I mean, that's not text, but maybe because it's a shape. But you see, you can move him around. You can drag him. You can add a label. There already is one. So there's different things you can do. And whatever I insert, you know, maybe I could insert some kind of, I can't record audio probably because we're in Zoom. I could insert a photo or an image gallery. Image galleries are really cool because you can have a bunch of images together as one object. I described that to you yesterday. But also we could insert some other audio. If
Body, class test for iPad. Body, text field, insertion point at start. Insertion point at end. Select caps lock, active, return.
Now,
new line.
I could insert some kind of audio. In order to do that, you have to say insert from. So we go to media.
Cap, read it more, form, undo, share, insert media.
And we're going to say
camera, record audio, photo, web video, record audio.
See all these options, but
web video, image gallery, insert from.
Insert from will let us pick.
Back, dimmed, button.
Now,
see folders you viewed previously.
I'm going to have to see where I am.
Forward, concepts people, XFPDF, concepts first, open.
I think
dimmed,
I'm in recents. Button. I'm in recents. So if I'm in recents, I don't know if I'll find something that I want. Let's go to browse.
Tags, button, download, favorites, on my iPad, iCloud Drive, select.
All right, and let's
back ATLC prod audio files, audio
insert something.
One rider 016 _
I'll find something short.
Page.
So we don't.
2020. Page. Concepts covenant. Concepts agree. Page. Buzz. Audio. Uploaded. 2/22/22. 86 kilobytes.
That's.
Book music intro. Book music.
We used that book music thing before when we demonstrated it. Let's use the ending. We used the intro in something in the Files app.
Book music intro type. Book music ending.
Let's use the ending this time. That's royalty free also.
Selected. Book music ending.
And now I'm going to have to go up to the top right here.
Icons. Audio. Search. Open. Button.
And say open.
Open. O1. Open. Button. Open.
Now, why?
43 game show hollow time page 2020 page Apollo 13 page Apple Watch PT1 page capture audio page Apple Watch PT1 Apple byte crop selected book music ending 4/10/21 8:29 p.m. audio 4/10/21 1.3 megabytes.
It doesn't say it's in iCloud.
Copy, share, keep downloaded. Remove quick duplicate, get in tags, drag, activate.
Should have just inserted. Maybe it's not a compatible format.
Selected. Book music, backpack, audio, icons, open, button, open. O1
Interesting. It doesn't seem to want to be inserting at all. And maybe it's not the right
O1 Rider. Open. Button. Open.
the right format.
Toolbar.
That's
Deselect 47 icons. 47 laboratory. 43
let's
game
try
show.
something
Page
else.
2 of 42. 2019.
That's gonna make it harder because I
Page
don't
2020.
know.
Page. Book music intro. Selected. Book music ending. Book music. Byte crunch.
Let's try.
Version 2. Biting apple. Eating food noise. Sound effect. Audio. Uploaded. 2/22. Book music
this
ending.
says
4/10/21. 8:29 p.m. Audio.
audio,
Byte
but
crunch. Selected. But off one. Audio. Apple TV
I don't
Tuesday
understand that really.
Audio files. Open. But open.
Yeah, I'm not sure why that's happening.
Toolbar. Deselect all button.
Let's
deselect
all.
47 016
Let's just try
016 underscore
one little thing here. Let's just turn
voiceover off.
Let's pick one that we know we
Voiceover
used in
pages.
another
47
setting.
Page 2020 page
See if that
4
matters.
07 page capture on page Apple Watch PT off
that was the book music intro.
Titanic selected page 4 of page
Maybe I was too far away from it on the screen.
O1 right open button open.
Yeah, there's something
105 O1 right open.
There's something going on with
video
the
pages 0101 rider
the screen.
Recent.
I think you know what I think it is. I think it's this video panel that's doing the screen share that's getting in the way. So I'm going to see if there's anything I can do about that. I don't know if there is, to be truthful with you.
Video.
Maybe if we
picture icons 05 01 rock copy.
Maybe if we
activate drag item tags.
No, maybe.
Get in duplicate quick.
Yeah, there's no other option that's going to work
copy,
there like that.
Default,
so tell you what, since we have to play with it anyway, let's go ahead and select the one we really wanted, which was the ending.
Selected. Book music end page 3 of page 1 of 42.
And let's
Tuesday 223.
Scroll to top.
Pages 1 audio 01 right open button video.
And now let's what I want to try maybe video. If that's not going to work
forward
is to use screen recognition, because it normally works with just hitting the open button, but I think it's that video overlay that's getting in the way.
Search open button video pages 1
yeah
open button open
because it keeps putting
default expand picture in picture window shrink picture in picture window.
What if we shrink it?
29% pages audio
okay
for audio icon search open.
Will that make any difference?
Open video.
It still wants to bring it there.
Expand pick active stash window shrink picture in picture window. Expand picture activate stash.
I don't think I can do any more to it than
pages icons search
than that
button 220
and that did it. Okay.
And image gallery.
Okay.
Image and button.
So
explore
let's
image.
turn off our screen recognition.
Character word screen off.
All right.
Body Blue Jay selected. Book music ending.
All right. So let me explain to you what we had to do, and I think I'm going to let that in the recording because that gives you an idea of troubleshooting, and not just giving up and So basically, what was happening is every time I'd hit that open button, that picture-in-picture window, which you will not deal with unless you're doing a screen share. That's strictly because I'm doing this screen share in Zoom, and that picture-in-picture window was in the way, and it was must have been covering up that open button, so VoiceOver was seeing it, but every time I double-tapped it, it wasn't actually working. Well, when you tap on the video window that has the picture-in-picture, there are rotor actions, and what I ended up having to do was shrink the window, and probably if I'd have just done stash, that may have worked first, but stash window, puts it off to the side. Let me see if I can even find it now.
Blue Jet selected more. Reading view Tuesday micro screen recording in progress.
And you can see that it's still doing it.
Pages. Reading view nav bar top right canvas select.
Yeah, basically basically it's hidden that window, so I'd have to go back to the Zoom app to actually make use of it, and that's fine. I don't need it. I mean, I don't need to see what you're seeing. It's there. It's working. We know the screen is but basically I had to get it out of the way, so we chose stash window, and then that allowed me to hit the open button. I don't think I would have actually needed screen recognition. I think I'd have just needed to stash that window first. So now we know. And the interesting thing is now, notice that this is selected.
Blue jet selected. Book music ending 4:10:21, 8:29 p.m.
Again, it's going to have rotor actions.
Remove from selection. Format. Deselect all. Drag item. Activate. Remove from selection. Format.
So now if I format it,
Selected. Audio. Button. 1 of 2.
you'll notice that the
Selected.
formatting
None.
options are going to be different.
Loop back.
So,
selected. None.
okay,
Repeat.
let's just go back.
Selected.
Okay,
Audio.
you have
button.
either you
2.
have audio or arrange under format.
Arrange.
Arrange
button.
shows
2
where
of
this,
2.
like, is going to let you choose where this appears in the document, behind something else, in the foreground, whatever. But go to the right.
Repeat. Heading.
We have repeat options for this audio.
Selected. None.
None is selected right now.
Loop.
You can loop, which will just keep it
Loop back and forth.
playing, and then
Loop back and
those
forth.
are your different options. That's actually all you
Loop
have here.
back
So
and
we're going to
forth.
get out of that.
Canvas. Selected. Book music
And
and
we ought to be able to see what it sounds like. And that plays at the end of the book. That is also royalty free. You've probably heard that in commercials and stuff too. That seems to be used a good bit. Now, this is, I'm going to deselect this with the rotor.
selected. Book music intro. Remove from select one element. Selected. Blue jet. Selected. Book music. Drag item. Deselect all.
Okay, now everything's deselected, so I can.
Blue jet. Book music. Book music intro. Titanic. Audio. 1 minute. Book music.
Oh.
Book music ending. 4.
You know what's interesting? It did put, that's interesting. It did put the intro in there when I hit open with screen recognition. It just didn't show me that because that window was in the way. So I actually have two things in here. That's cool. So we have the intro in here also. Okay, well, that's good to know. As I said, that would not be an issue if you weren't using the screen share. Now, let's move on to other things. Let's look at what will happen. First of all, I just want to show you the export options before we do anything else. That's something you might want to know. Remember that you can collaboratively share this, and you can also send a copy in the same format, the Pages format, with the share button.
Blue box. Read more. Format. Undo. Share. Button.
Okay, if you go into there,
Share. Class-test-iPad. Class-test-iPad 2025. Pages. Collaborate. Button.
notice it's set to collaborate already, so you're going to invite people. You can collaborate in real time, as we've discussed.
Only invited people can edit.
Remember?
Forward. Button.
That's a button, so you can change that. And then there's a whole bunch of ways we can collaborate. We can also double tap on collaborate and change it to send copy. Well, let's get out of this.
On. Collaborate. Button.
Now,
View option. Back button.
we're in the document here, and if we want to send a different format of the document, we will choose export. Now, that's going to be under the document actions.
Back button. View option. Class test iPad 2025. Actions menu.
Okay,
Button.
so we'll double tap that.
Class test type. Share. Pages document. Document options. Rename. Move. Export. Print. Button.
Remember, that's also where you can print the document. But let's look at the export options to show you that.
Export. Export. Collapsed. PDF. Button. PD Word. Button. EPUB. Button. Plain text. Button. RTF. Button. Images. Button. Pages template. Button. Publish to Apple Books. Button. Dismiss context menu.
You have a lot of
Button.
choices there. You can make this
Back button.
an RTF. You can make it PDF or Word. There were a whole bunch of different choices. Save it as a template. One of the choices was EPUB. That's actually the format you need to publish to Apple Books. But there was also a separate option under there called Publish to Apple Books. And what that actually does is it directs you to the Apple Books portal. I'm trying to remember what the exact term for it is now. But it's basically their publisher's portal, I think they call it. And that's on the web. So this is just going to help you get it ready. And then you'll use that publisher's portal to upload it and to upload your cover art and everything separately. But There's also the EPUB version, which you can export to, and that would allow you to test the book first to make sure that it works. When you write digital books, there's a lot of steps that go into this. And one of the first things you need to do when you're writing a digital book is to style your document with the heading style. Remember the heading paragraph style? Every time you want to have a new chapter, people say, well, how do I get the table of contents into my digital book? Well, you use the heading style. Everywhere you want a new chapter, wherever you put that chapter name, or if you don't have names of your chapters, you just call it, chapter 1, chapter 2, whatever. Preface, all of that. You use the heading style for that text, and that automatically then generates the table of contents correctly. But there are other requirements. They have a whole list of, requirements for EPUBs, how they need to be formatted. There's different kinds of EPUBs. There's the reflowable kind, which is what we're talking about. There's also fixed layout, which is great for like, graphic novels and picture books and cookbooks and, things of that nature. So, and then all of this you can test by exporting your document to EPUB and then bring it into Apple Books and try it and see how it performs for you. Plus, when you do the export to EPUB, it'll give you any warnings that it finds that or any problems with it, because you can't, for example, use written page numbers in an EPUB because it's reflowable unless you use the fixed layout kind. And there are other things you can't do, certain ways that images have to be presented and so on. So it will let you know all of those things as you try the export. So Apple always recommends, and anyone I think would recommend, that you do the EPUB export first. Try it out for yourself in Apple Books before you ever get ready to submit it. But if you do want to submit it, you choose that Publish to Apple Books option, and it's, as I said, going to guide you through getting it ready and using it on the, using the web portal to upload it. You can do all of that from your iPad. All right, you don't need a Mac or a PC. You can do everything from the iPad, but you start with that process. And then there were some simpler ones. Again, you can export this to PDF. That's a great way to share it with people if you don't want them to be able to edit it. You can just send them a PDF copy of this. You can do Microsoft Word. There's a lot of different options. And remember, you can even bring notes into Pages, so you can get a note into Pages and then export it as PDF or something. There's a lot of ways that you can use that export feature. All right, I want to show you some other things in the menus here. One of the things I'm sure people like to know about, I've gotten questions about, is word count. So I want to show you some of these view options.
Back button. View options button.
Now I'm in the main document. I got out of that more menu, or that document actions menu, but I'm in the document, and the first option here is view options. I want to show you these.
Page thumbnails button.
If you want to view your thumbnails.
2 pages view button.
Okay, 2 pages view is going to have like 2 pages, like a book. All right, imagine like one on the left and one on the right side. All right.
Show word count button.
You wouldn't show the word count. Now let's look what else is here first.
Show ruler, but hide smart annotations, but hide comments, dismiss context menu.
Right.
Button.
So I'm not getting into all that for the sake of time. You can read the user guide, but it's very useful, and comments are great. Teacher student type of stuff. Imagine that, or multiple people editing. You make a comment. Should we change this? And somebody else can see that comment. And the rotor can be used to access comments. We heard that. Well, let's show the word count.
Hide, show ruler, show word count button. Canvas, body,
now,
class test for iPad. Hello everyone.
There's my document, okay?
Blue Jay, book music ending, book music intro, 69 words.
If you keep swiping to the right, it's going to give you the word count. You hear that?
69 words.
Okay, so that can just stay up on the screen at all times if you want. And so if we go in here.
Book music, Blue Jay, body, class test for body, cap I.
Now, let's
return. You are line, you question mark, word, you question mark, characters, question mark.
There's the word, how are you?
Return, new line,
let's put
cap G.
Another word.
Cap H-E, L-L-O, spit T-A-E-O-E, period, there.
Hello there. Hide the keyboard. Let's look at our word count now.
Book music in 71 words.
See?
Blue Jay.
So we went from, I think it was 69 before, and then we added 2, so that would make sense. So you can keep the word count visible at all times if you need it. I'm going to hide it again. Again, view options.
View options. Page 2 pages view. Hide word count button.
Hide the word count.
Canvas, body.
Okay, the next thing we're going to show you is document options. Let's go into that. That was under the actions menu, you might remember.
View class test type table class test iPad 2025 actions menu but class test up share but pages document options button collapsed. Double tap to expand collapsed document setup button set password button dismiss context document
So
setup
you can set a password for this, but the main one we're going to look at is document setup.
selected document button 1 of 2.
Now we have document
Section
and
button,
we have
2 of
section.
2.
You can create a section break in your document and have multiple sections. You might remember yesterday we had that insert button right above the keyboard. I said that's different from the insert media, insert shape, all that stuff. It's a separate insert. And if you recall, it had things in it like line break, page break. Well, a section break to have a new section. When might I use that? Well, I can give you a perfect example. If you're writing a book, and now I'm talking about a print book that you're going to print out, not so much a digital book, you might want to have your pages in the introductory sections, like with your forward, your dedications, your preface. You might want to have those pages be Roman numerals, and then the actual numbered pages, with the, what do you call it, Arabic numbers or whatever, start with chapter 1. So that would be a separate section. You'd make a front section of the book, and that would be your preface, your dedications, whatever else is in the front matter. And then finally the regular section is the page numbers, and it's got chapters 1 through however many chapters are in the book. And then maybe you have a third section for, like, an index, a glossary, or, a postscript or something. And so you can have multiple sections, and that way your page numbers can be controlled separately as well. So notice here we can view sections, but we're just going to view the document. We don't have multiple sections in this one. We're already viewing
Selected document button,
the document
1 of
setup.
2.
So let's go to the right. Remember, this was under the actions menu with the document name, and then it was under document options and then document setup. Now let's take a look what kinds of things we can see here.
Selected portrait button, landscape button.
So the first thing is,
illustration of a yellow frame with a white background.
Is this a portrait document like 8.5 by 11? Yes, it is. We'll leave that alone.
Paper size heading selected letter.
Leave that alone.
A4 custom size button.
If you're going to be doing envelopes and stuff, you might need to modify that.
Headers switched button on.
Okay, we have headers.
Double footers switched button on.
And we have footers. We haven't seen them.
To toggle setting.
We have not seen them yet, but that's okay.
Document body switched button on.
Well, you have a
double tap to toggle setting.
Now, because this is a word processing document, you have a document body. If it were not, if it were a page layout document, you wouldn't have a document body. So we definitely want to leave that on.
Facing pages switched button off.
And again, that's
double tap to toggle setting.
So in the other place we saw the 2-page view, but here's where you actually control whether or not your document has facing pages, like one on the left and one on the right. So if you're writing a book, a newspaper, maybe, I don't know, but they're facing pages, okay?
More options button.
And then we have more options.
Adjust margins, edit headers and footers, and add objects that you'd like to appear on each page in this section.
Right.
Heading.
And that's telling you what that more options is going to do. So we're definitely going to go in there.
Adjust more options button.
Okay.
Done button.
So here's where we can control a lot of things now about our document. Our margins. We can put something in the header and the footer. So let's look at this.
More options. Heading. Insert button.
All right, we're going to remember that because that's going to be important in a moment.
Undo. Format. Dip canvas. Left header. Text field.
See?
8 points close to selection's bottom right corner. Double tap to select.
We didn't have this before. This is special. It's in the more options section. We have a left header.
Header position. 0.5 inches. Adjustable.
You can change that with this little scrub bar.
Center header. Text field. Right header. Top margin. 1 inch. Adjustable.
That's where you can adjust the top margin. Right now it's set for 1 inch. It's going to be 1 inch all around, I imagine.
Left margin. 1 inch. Right margin. 1 inch. Bottom margin. Left footer. Text
and
field.
if you want to edit any of those, all you do is swipe up or down with one finger on whichever ones you want to change, because remember, there is it's adjustable.
Bottom margin. 1 inch. Adjustable.
See, listen, hear that?
Double tap and hold. Then drag to resize. Swipe up or down with one finger to adjust the value.
So you can do that either way. You're going to adjust that if you need to change your margins. Now, the next one, if you go to the right.
Left footer, text field, center footer, footer position, 0.6, right footer, footer position, 0.6 inch right footer, text field.
There's the right footer.
8.5 index canvas, left header, header position,
All these
center
options.
header,
So,
header left, format,
if I,
dimmed,
maybe
button,
I want,
undo, set right, top, left, right, bottom margin.
where do I want to, maybe I want to put page numbers in the bottom right footer.
Left footer, center footer, footer position, point, right footer, text field. 911, right footer, text field, is editing.
I double tapped on it. I'm inside that footer. Now remember I said pay attention to that insert button.
More option, insert, button. Photo or video, camera, web equation, out, indent, font cap I.
That's the wrong one.
I'm, font size, align, insert, button.
I didn't take my own advice there, did I?
Line break. Page number.
There it is, page number.
Page count.
Page count.
Date and time.
So we're going to insert page number.
Canvas, right footer, text field, is editing.
And
character mode, insertion point at end.
We have now put
attachment.
And it just shows up as an attachment there right now, but you could have a cited user verify that. We now have our page numbers in the bottom right footer. And if I hit the done button up here at the top,
done button, done,
we will now see that the
canvas, right footer, footer position, right footer, text field, the 907 points close to selections bottom right corner, double tap to select. Okay. Size, 0.1 inches wide, 0.2 inches tall, position, 87% from left, 92.8% from top, double tap to edit.
And you can
8.5 footer position, center footer, left bottom margin, right margin, left top margin, done.
We're gonna hit done again.
Done. Back button.
Now we're in the main document now.
Body. Today we are learning the following. Blue Jay. Book music ending. Book music intro. Left footer. Text field. Center footer. Right footer. Text field.
And there's our footers. They're there now.
907 points close to selections bottom right corner. Double tap to select.
And see,
size. 0.1 inches wide. 0.2 inches tall. Position. 87% from left. 92.8% from top. Double tap to edit. And that's our page number, but that's our footers. We didn't see that before, but now that we've added information there, right footer. We have that. Now the other thing is left book blue body. Read it more. Format. I can also do. Let me show you this, I guess. Let's do this. View class table of contents button. We don't really have much of a table of contents because we only have, I think, one thing with the heading style. Table of contents. What we're learning. Yeah, and that's the heading we made. What we're learning. That's the one thing that would show up like as a chapter right now in a book or something. What we're edit button. But you can table of contents heading table edit. You can edit this. Edit. Select which paragraph styles appear in the table of contents and adjust their indentation levels. Heading. All right. Title. Indentation level 0. Adjustable. Subtitle. Indentation level 0. Selected. Heading. Indentation level 0. Adjustable. So, heading 2. Heading 3. If you want other things to appear in the table of contents, you can select them and you can even change their indentation level. But that's where the table of contents is created. Header and footer. Indentate caption. And look at all that. Heading red. Footnote. Label. Label dark. Label dark. Indentation. Now, select styles. Head. Done. Button. Edit. We're going to hit done. What we're learning. But you could actually create a whole section with a written table of contents as well. And so what we're learning, edit button. What we're edit table of contents, heading, table of contents, head, table. Swipe out of that. Heading. Back button. View class table. Insert table button. Insert chart. Insert shape. Insert media. Share button. Undo but format. Dimmed. More button. Reading view. Canvas. Body. Class test for iPad. Hello everyone. This is a test for the iPad class. It is a beautiful day out today. That's what we wrote. Remember that? Now, again, it's very important to understand that the table of contents that we're talking about here is specifically a digital, auto-generated table of contents that you use in digital books and in the document itself. Okay, so you can use what we have here in a digital book. There's no need for you to type
a manual table of contents. The only thing you have to do is decide which sections are going to appear in that table of contents. And by default, it's the heading style. You can add anything else by hitting that edit button the way that we just did. Now, if in fact you're in a situation where you really need a physical written table of contents, there is a way to do that as well. And the way you have to do that is you, first of all, and I'm going to actually pull it up here because it's if you're going to build a table of contents, I'm going to actually pull up the, let's see. I want to look at, they keep talking Mac here, but I want to find iPad. Okay. All right. So I think you do this under, I think you do it under the insert menu.
Body. Class test for iPad. Body.
Let's see.
Text cap. Keep cap I. Indent. Outdent. Vertical scroll out and cap. B. I'm. Fonts. Align. Insert tab. Insert canvas. Body.
Wait a minute.
Let's right. Outdent. And cap. B. I'm. Fonts. Align. Insert. But.
Let's see.
Comment, page break, line break, section break, column break, page number, page count, date and time, bookmark, footnote, table of contents.
Yep, that's what I thought. So it's in that same, remember that insert button that I said is right above the keyboard? That's where we inserted the page numbers. That's where you insert a section break. You can also insert a table of contents right there, and that will be a written table of contents. Now, the nice part of it is it's still based on the digital table of contents that we just worked with. So you don't have to manually type everything out and type, okay, you know, chapter 1, page 6. Chapter 2, you don't have to do any of that because when you insert this table of contents, it's going to base its information off of what you have already set up. So it saves you several steps. All right, so we've looked at adjusting margins. We've looked at inserting objects. We've looked at, page numbers. I think the most important thing you're going to need to do is to play with this. You know, you really, really do. And let me get out of this menu.
Table
of and then
table of column break, dismiss pop-up. Table
okay, column break is not
body bookmark activate.
The same thing I was going to tell you about, but I will tell you, you can set this up as a column document too if it's like a newspaper or something.
Body class test for iPad. Reading view selected.
Okay.
Text box. What we're learning. 1.
Now
Blue Jay. Deselect all.
Okay.
Body class test body text
Okay.
cap body.
So like
reading view more format
under format
text head body bold italic.
We looked at all of these yesterday.
Underline strike
but
more text
I want to show you
options.
these more text options because there's even more stuff here.
Character style heading.
So you
none,
can change
button.
character style.
Character style. None. Baseline. Superscript. Button. Subscript. Capitalization. Heading.
Okay.
Selected. None. All caps. Small caps.
You can make changes to
Title case. Start case. Ligatures.
all
heading.
of these kinds of things. I mean, this is really advanced stuff.
Selected. Default. None. All. Outline. Text background. No fill.
You
button.
can even have a fill color in the background.
Outdent. Dimmed. Indent.
All right.
Outline.
Let's go
Switch
back.
Text. Back button.
And I want to show you
Paragraph. Italic.
something else I was thinking about.
Selected. Align, justify.
There's your alignment options to center the selected text or whatever. We have no text selected right now.
Bullets and lists.
We already
None,
looked at bullets
button.
and lists.
Outdent. Dim. Indent.
And that's
button.
how you can, you can make your list more indented and so forth.
Line spacing. 1.00.
Okay,
button.
didn't show you that yet. If you want your document double spaced, you can go into line spacing and change that. Right now it's single spaced, 1.00. You can make it 1.5, 2 spaces.
Columns. 1.
And
button.
there's the columns option. So if you're writing a newspaper, you need a 3-column thing or something like that. You can change that from 1 column to however many columns you want.
Drop cap. Switched button. Off.
Okay.
Indents. Button. Paragraph borders and background.
I mean,
button.
look at all these options, folks.
Outdent.
It's
Paragraph
incredible.
border. Canvas.
And if you're just writing a basic, document, a letter, or whatever, you're not going to need most of those. But what we did yesterday will be helpful to you to learn how to do basic, formatting. But this is more advanced stuff. But I'm doing this to show you that it's all there. It's all doable. And it's important to play around with this. We're going to have a lab tomorrow, and we'll let you have a chance to play with some different things. Now, I'm going to go out of this document, okay?
View option, back button, canvas,
And
view option, back button,
you remember
pages.
that automatically saves the document, and it's already saved anyway. Now, if I wanted to create something, I want to just show you what it's like to create something using a simple template. I think we'll stick with a word processing template for ease of use, but let me show you that it can be done. It's just going to add some complexity. Instead of hitting start writing,
Pages, start writing, button,
which immediately takes me to a blank document, we're going to choose
choose a template, button,
this option, choose a template.
cancel, button,
Now look at all the options we have.
choose a template, heading, recents, button, basic, button, reports, books, letters, resumes, flyers and posters, newsletters, button, certificates, stationery, certificates, miscellaneous, recents,
Okay,
heading,
lots of options. Let's actually do a flyer.
stationery, newsletter, flyers and posters, button.
Okay.
For web flyer, document with earthy colors that includes text fields and images for property information. For web flyer, for sale flyer, tab flyer, lost and found flyer, photo poster small, document with an image placeholder and photo poster big, event poster small,
Yeah.
Event poster big, document with an image placeholder and text fields on a canvas size of 11 by 17 inches.
Let's do that. Let's do an event poster, and we're just going to make up an event, and we're going to try to fill it in here together. So let's go into this one.
Event poster big, event poster big, back button.
Now, as before, I'm going to change the name of this because it's taken on the name of the template.
View options, event poster big, actions menu, button. Event poster big, share, pages, document, rename, text
so we're
field
gonna,
is editing, cap A,
we're gonna
done.
actually use
Word, event,
what they have, but we're going to call it TTJ.
cap J, cap R, cap T, cap T, cap R,
T, R instead of a
T,
cap
T,
okay.
cap T, cap J, hyphen, T, cap T, E, S, T, space, activate,
so
done, cap E.
I'm actually leaving event
Echo.
poster big in there, but I added TTJ test in front of it.
Done, vent.
Okay. Let's look at that.
L. Canvas, text back view TTJ test event poster big, actions menu, button.
All right. Let's swipe to the right and take a look at this canvas now to see what it's already got.
Table of insert, share, undo, format, more, reading view, page thumbnails, selected, page 1.
So they're showing the thumbnails here.
New page, button.
You can insert a new page that way.
Canvas, blue, magenta, pink.
So this is actually not a word processing template to the best of my knowledge, but let's listen.
New canvas, blue, magenta, pink, and purple overlapping vertical stripes. Image. 25 points close to selection's bottom right corner, double tap to select. Size, 10.5 inches wide, 10.0 inches tall, position, horizontally centered, 1.5% from top. Use the rotor to access document headings, links, misspelled words, comments, highlights, bookmarks, white text in front of a blue and pink striped background.
Now, chances are I would replace this image.
Text box, this exhibition.
But I'm going to come back to that.
49 points.
All right, I'm going to look at the image later. The first thing I see is this exhibition. That presumably is the title, and notice it's a text box. So when we double tap it, it's going to select it, and then if we want to edit it, we have to double tap it again. So let's
text box, this exhibition.
All right, let's just
49 points close to text box, event subtitle.
Yeah. So
text box,
that's
this exhibition.
That's my text.
49.
That's my main title of my event. Let's double tap.
Selected text box, this exhibition.
Now
text field.
We'll have to double tap.
Double tap to edit.
Again, to edit that now.
Insertion point at end.
And we're going to, in fact, I'm going to just make it really simple so we don't overcomplicate. I could change the whole title of this, whatever I want, but we're just going to call it TTJ Tech Exhibition. That way we're not even going to have to change much.
Return word this line separator exhibition.
Okay, so
characters.
What they have here.
This line separator exhibition.
Actually, I may have to change it because the way it's done, they've used a connecting line.
This line's words. This line separator exhibition.
I think if I delete that, it's going to delete the whole thing. That's okay.
Delete. New line. Exhibition. New line. This line separator. This line delete. This exhibition.
Yeah, it deleted
Return.
the whole thing. And that's okay. So we'll call it TTJ.
T.
Why did it not
T.
capitalize that?
T.
Did I do that?
Tap cap T. Cap G.
Whoops.
T.
So I think
Delete. Cap G.
I'm going to call it
Cap T.
TTJ.
Cap J. Cap J. Space. T. T. Cap T. C. H. Space.
Expo.
Tech. Cap E. X. P. O.
Now that
T.
will not
Return
be.
word Xpod.
Whoops. I put a T
Care
in there.
cap.
That's not going to be
Delete. O.
connected
Words.
now.
P.
What's going to
O.
it looks.
Care O. P. X.
Yeah, now I can navigate it with
X-ray.
characters.
Word copy. Tech. TTJ. TTJ. Tech.
With words.
Expo.
All right. It looks good now. So I'll hide the keyboard. All right. So we've renamed the title of the event.
Canvas. Selected. Text box. TTJ Tech Expo.
Now,
Text field.
The next thing that's going to happen is we're going to need an event subtitle. And I think if I select the event subtitle text box, it will automatically deselect the title text box. But if not, we'll fix that.
Middle right shape hand. Lower left. Lower right text box. Event subtitle.
Okay.
May 6th, 2025. New middle left shape selected. Text box. Event subtitle. May 6th, middle right shape.
Now,
Lower left. Lower middle. Lower right. Middle right shape.
Okay.
Selected.
This
box.
text box must be very large because it has more than just the event subtitle. It has the date and everything. So we're going to select it again and start editing.
Insertion point at end.
Let's go to the beginning. All right.
Add comment. Return. To get started. Lines.
Gonna have to use
get
the lines.
New W. New look. New sub. Made new event subtitle.
Okay.
Words. Event subtitle.
Event subtitle.
Character. Events. Event subtitle.
We could select it and type over it or just delete it.
Delete.
And I'm going to look at what's next.
New line.
There's a new line.
New line.
So let's delete event
Return.
subtitle.
Delete. Event subtitle.
And let's say the only tech you'll ever need, which is the TTJ
T. H. E.
tagline anyway.
Space. D. Capital. Cap N. L. What
And
space.
I did not
Inlay.
capitalize
Cap T. E. C.
that
H.
T,
Space.
I don't think,
Tech.
in the word the. But that's okay.
Cap Y.
Not gonna.
Cap O. U. Cap closing single apostrophe L. Space. You'll.
Did I get
Return.
an E?
Cap E. V. E.
Ever?
Space. Ever. Cap N. E. Ed.
Okay, I knew I wanted the word need.
Return.
Now.
New line. May 6th, 2025.
That's the current date of the event. If it's not that date, we can delete that.
May 6th, 2025.
And let's delete it.
Delete. May 6th, 2025.
Now.
Return. New line.
It's deleted, so let's put
Cap J.
June.
Cap J. U. N. E. Space.
6th.
Y. 6.
Just to show you
6, comma.
that this is
6.
doable.
Double 2. 2. 0. 0. At. Canvas.
Hopefully.
Double 2.
Well,
2.
I'll come back to that.
G. Star. T. 5.
Okay.
5.
May 6th or June 6th, 2025.
Return.
Let's go down.
New line.
I'm just using the down swipe. I'm doing this all on screen, by the way.
7 and dash 10 p.m.
7 to 10 p.m. I'll leave that one alone. That'll be fine.
New line. Location. New line. www.example.com. Subtitle 3. 18 point.
So-
line spacing. 1.1. Helvetica Neue.
And notice this is already formatted in the way that they think is appropriate. Location, we could change, right?
New line. Location.
There's the word location.
Location.
But what I think they want you to do,
Bottom right corner. Thumbnail with
Yes.
pages.
get an idea.
Bottom right corner.
Okay. What I think they want you to do there is to put your actual location. If it's a physical address, if it's a business name, if it's at, an online event. So
Location. Delete. Location.
let's just call it something easy. Like, let's say the diner on 8th Street.
GT.
Okay, so the diner
Cap T H E space Cap D I N E R space I N
on
N I
an
O
I
O
instead of an
N
O.
space I
8th.
8 T H
Now,
space
obviously,
eighth. Cap S T O 8
you would need to have an address for people if if you were going to do that. But I'm just giving you an example here. All right, let's
8.
swipe.
Return. New line. www.example.com. Subtitle 3.
And I'll delete
18
that
point.
because
Delete. www.example.com, comma. www period ttjtech period biz.
we need the correct
Return.
URL. And that,
Bottom right corner. Return word period biz. Period tech. www.
now, you don't have to always delete these first. You could select them and then type over them, and that would make sure we keep the formatting. I think the formatting probably is still preserved,
Street.
but if I'm concerned about that,
Street. www period. Subtitle 3. 18 point.
Yeah,
Line spacing.
it did.
1.
All right, praise
1.
God. So it did keep it.
Helvetic annoyance. Tech period. Biz. To get started, just tap or click this placeholder text and begin typing. You can view and edit this poster on your Mac, iPad, iPhone, or on iCloud.com. It's easy to edit text, change fonts, and add beautiful graphics. Use paragraph styles to get a consistent look throughout your document. For example, this paragraph uses body style. You can change it in the text tab of the format controls. Drag your own photo onto the image placeholder in this template, then crop or resize it if you wish. To add more photos, or any of more than 700 customizable shapes, tap or click one of the insert buttons in the toolbar or drag and drop the objects onto the page. You can layer objects, resize them, and place them anywhere on the page. To change how an object moves with text, select the object and then tap or click the Arrange tab in the Format controls.
Okay.
12 point, line spacing, single, dark gray 14.
All right. Several very useful things have just happened. That's the text placeholder text that they have in there, and that's very nice because it describes to you a lot of what I've shown you and more things than I've shown you, and it tells you how to work with this. The other thing that does is it gives me a very good idea of about approximately how much text I could use for my event description, and it seems by that I could use quite a lot. I could type a good bit without having to be concerned that it's going to be too big for the text box. The other thing is it told me there's more than 700 shapes in the shapes gallery. I had commented to you before. I wasn't sure how many they had, so that's good to know. So what we can do now is we can actually delete that text.
Return.
Let's see.
To get started, just tap delete to get started. Just tap or click this place.
Now I'm going to get my keyboard out.
Reading view button.
And what we're going to do
hidden.
is start typing. Join us
Caption
for the special
space E
tech event.
Period event space.
Dinner will be provided.
Space space.
And we will
Space.
recognize all
the
people who have
have
made
space made
our TTJ training season
space U
whoops,
C S
success.
S.
We will also demonstrate
space
the latest.
Y.
Don't miss
Space.
awesome
Awesome.
event.
T. Space.
Click
Space.
the above link to register.
Period.
All right, so
Register.
now we can read this.
Dinner will be recognized. Join us for this special tech event. Dinner will be provided, and we will recognize all the people who have made our TTJ training season a success. We will also demonstrate the latest Apple technology. Don't miss this awesome event. Click the above link to register.
Okay. So we think this is good, right? I mean, we'd have to have somebody look at this visually to make sure, but we think we have a working document here, and now that's our
page thumbnails. New pick canvas text box.
That's our text box that had the thing. Now, the other thing there is still this image here.
Blue, magenta, pink, and purple overlapping vertical replay selected. Blue,
I've double tapped it to select it, and now notice what's just one swipe to the right of it.
Replace image button.
Replace image. So I can take out their image and I can put in one of my own. And so when I double tap on replace image,
replay alert, choose photo or video button, take photo or video button, insert from button, insert.
See,
choose
so we have different options. You could even insert something from the Files app in iCloud Drive or what have you, but I could just say
Choose photo or video button. Choose photo or vid to cancel.
And I don't know.
Selected. Photos, favorites, days, people and pets, memories, trips, utilities, hidden, receipts, handwriting, illustrations, QR codes, recently saved, button, recently, documents,
Look at all these
recently
options.
viewed, import, media, videos, selfies, live photos, portrait, panoramas, time-lapse, slow-mo, cinematic.
Let's just find
button,
one here.
Private access to photo, date, April 14th, time, 4:19 p.m. A white fox walking on a paved surface next to a white car. Blue KH on. LGY 9895.
We'll use that one.
Selected. A screenshot of a web page with text and images. Cans. Middle right image selected. Double tap middle left selected.
Now,
double tap to edit image mask. Image.
There it is. The image is replaced, and I can format this.
Drag item. Add title. Add caption. Format. Style button.
Because one of the things I want to show you with an image.
Selected. Image. Arrange. Edit mask. Button. Reset mask. Button. Remove background. Replace. Button. Description. Button. Clear placeholder. Button. Clear description. Button.
And I think that's where you put your voiceover description.
This description is used by type to enter text.
Yeah.
Text type to. This description is used by assistive technology, such as voiceover. Heading. To enter text. Text field.
So we'll
insertion
say,
point dead end. Space. Random.
We just called it a random tech image because I
Keyboard. Image. The script. Image.
And then
back button.
we'll just hit image. We hit back.
Description. Replace. Edit. Style. Button.
You can swipe out of this.
3. Canvas. Selected. Random tech image. Image. Double tap to edit image
See?
mask.
And now we have the correct image description there. So that's how easy it is to use a document with templates. You have to be careful. There's some things to keep in mind, but you can see that it is completely doable, praise God. And it gives you a good idea. It should give you a good idea. Now, I'm going to go back here.
Zoom. Toolbar. Canvas. Upper left image back button. Pages.
And I'm going to return to Zoom. And
Zoom. You are sharing. Share.
Yeah, I'm going to stop sharing screen here.
Reaction. Stop share.
But
share.
What I want to point out is that we did not really do
okay.
An in-depth
Zoom.
review of how to check spelling and correct misspelling, because we did that already with notes and a little bit of that introductory stuff, I guess, even in other ways. But, so you can review those episodes if you want, because it's all there. We've covered it in this class. But I wanted to focus on some of these unique things that pages can do. And we'll get your questions in a moment, and we'll stop the original audio. But I will tell you this, that tomorrow we're going to have an experience lab. And as usual, I'm not going to be too specific about what we want you to do, but I am going to point out some things that I would recommend you try, that I'd like you to experience and have some fun with. And hopefully you can really begin to see just how powerful and how easy really this app is to use. Now, I want to remind you that when you start getting multiple pages in a document, in other words, a document that's 3, 4, 5 pages long, it's going to appear on the screen like there's more than one edit field. Don't be alarmed by that. The trouble you may run into if you're not using a mechanical keyboard is that it could appear like the cursor is not in sync with your voiceover cursor, and then you can't move. Like it just appears that you're not getting anywhere when you swipe up or down. Like there's a boundary there. Well, what you need to do if that happens,
Viola Benson has
first of all, if you're using the mechanical keyboard, that should not be an issue, because you can always do command up arrow, command down arrow, or just go up and down wherever you want to go. But if you are doing the editing with just the touchscreen, the easiest way to fix that situation is to find which edit field you really are supposed to be on based on where you are in the document. So if you swipe up or down by character or by word and it doesn't seem like it can move at all, then swipe right to the next edit field, because maybe you're on another page. Or swipe left to the previous edit field, because maybe you're on a previous page. Double tap on the next edit field. And if it's still not working, try the one after that. Swipe over to it and double tap on it. Eventually, you'll find the correct one. Another way you can make that easier is, again, with a mechanical keyboard, it's really not an issue anyway. But if you're doing on-screen editing, another way you can try to make that easier is to scroll with 3 fingers until you get to the beginning of the document and then double tap on the very first edit field. Or if you know you're closer to the end, swipe up with 3 fingers so you get later on in the document and then double tap on one of the last edit fields. I mean, it's really technically all one, but it's just the way that they appear. The other thing you can do is to minimize this is you can use the screen view that I disabled yesterday. That could be helpful. And there's one other way that I have found to be very useful, and that is if you know a specific word or phrase, you can do a search. Now, I didn't show you where that is, but I believe
Displaying Leo
we'll let you hear that real quick. I took the screen share away, but I didn't think about this.
picture and
Go back to
picture
pages
displayed.
again, real quick.
Pages. Oh, pages. Browse. Tab.
And let me open my document.
Attendance sheet. Icon. Tac. Visual. Class test iPad 2000. Class
Okay.
test back button.
If I go
Left. Center foot. Book body. Left. 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 To what we're body. Read more. Format. More. Button.
now, listen.
Find. Button.
There's a find option, okay? And when you go into find, you'll have a find, and you'll even have a replace option if you want to do a find and replace. But what I've done, I just wanted to show you where that was.
Pages.
There's
Pages.
other things
Dismiss.
in there. 2.
Out. Help. Customize toolbar. Help. Button.
Your onboard help
Collapse.
system.
Settings. Button.
Your pages settings.
Mail merge. Button. Bookmarks. Screen view. Presenter mode. Change tracking. Smart annotation. Find. Button.
All right, let's get out of that.
Canvas.
All right, so what I've done in some cases, especially with really long stuff, there were times that I was in the process, for example, of editing my Titanic book, and I would just think of something real quick. It wasn't a lengthy edit right now. It's just, I want to change this, 2-word mistake or whatever, real quick. Well, what I would do is I'd open that document on my iPad or sometimes even my iPhone. Maybe I was just getting ready to go to bed or, having a snack or doing something totally unrelated, but I just needed to do this real quick while I was thinking about it. So I would open the document and I'd go to find under more. And I'd search for something that I knew was close because I know the book well enough. I wrote it. And I know that, for example, I need to change a word here. And it's when I was talking about, let's say, something about the officers' quarters or the lifeboats or collapsible boat or, the food on the Titanic or the way that people dressed or whatever it was. There was always something I could search for to get within 1 or 2 sentences of where I wanted to be. And what that will do, you're going to find next and previous buttons so you can go to the next instance of that word, the previous instance of that word. What will happen when you perform a search that way is it'll force the cursor to that place in the document. So you'll always know when you search for something and your cursor ends up there, you'll always know that the cursors are in sync, right? Voiceover and insertion point, they're going to remain in sync because you've searched for that, and that's where that's where you are in the document, okay? So if all else is not seeming to work for you and you're like, I just don't know where I'm at in this document and I can't get any movement, it seems like the cursor is stuck, try one of the things I've suggested to you. Again, try to scroll up or down with 3 fingers and then double tap on one of the edit fields. Try the next edit field to the right or to the left. Get back to a place you can function in the document. If that's still not working, go to More, go to Find, and search for a word that you know is near where you want to be. You can also show your page thumbnails and double tap on a page that way, and that will be helpful to you. And again, finally, as I said, if you're using a mechanical keyboard, this is not even going to be an issue for you because you will be able to very simply use your up and down arrows to move through the document.
Thanks for joining today's session. Didn't get your question answered? Have an additional comment or feedback? Email us info@ttjtech.biz or info@stiritup.com. And remember, stir is spelled with a U. That's STURITUP.com. Or check out our websites for additional resources. That's ttjtech.biz or stiritup.com. And remember, subscribe to the newsletter when you're there. That way, you don't miss out on any upcoming announcements or events. Thanks for joining us. God bless, and see you next time.